Hola, this is Maestra Kimberly here to talk about how to say you in Spanish. So, all of those words that you see on the left side of the screen, tú, usted, vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes, all mean you. But why do we have so many, and what is the difference? Well, we're going to pay particular attention to two questions in this video. First, what is the difference between tú and usted? Second, what is the difference between vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes? Let's start with tú and usted. What do tú and usted mean? Well, they both mean you, singular. So if I'm talking to only one person about that person, I would use tú or usted. But I still have two choices. And how do I know which one to use? Well, let's look at that next. So, what is the difference between tú and usted? Tú is familiar. So, we would use tú when we're talking to a child, a close family member, or a friend. Usted, on the other hand, is formal. So, you would use usted when you're talking to a person with a title, a person with authority, or an adult you are meeting for the first time. My tip is to think of it this way. You would use tú to address people you would call by their first name. So, for example, if I am going over to my friend Martha's house, I would call Martha tú because she's my friend and I'm using her first name. So I can go with the familiar version. But if I'm going over to her house and I am meeting Martha's mom, then I would have to use usted because I wouldn't walk into Martha's house and say, "Yo, Betty, what's up?" to greet her mom. I would say, "Hello, Mrs. Jones. How are you today?" So, just like I would be more formal with her mom in English, I also would be more formal with her mom in Spanish, and I would use usted. Pretty simple, right? Now, let's look at some examples. Talking to my little brother, I can say, Tú eres inteligente. You are intelligent. But talking to my teacher, I would say, Usted es inteligente, which also means you are intelligent, but in that more formal way. Talking to my classmate, I could say, ¿Cómo estás tú? Or ¿Cómo estás? Which is a shorter version, and the tú is still in there, we just don't say it. And both of those mean, how are you? Or again, talking to my teacher, I would ask her, ¿Cómo está usted? Which also means, how are you, in the more formal way. Now, let's move on to those other words for you. What is the difference between vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes? Well, let's start with the similarity. Vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes all mean you, plural. So when I'm talking to a group of people about those people, about that group, I will say in English, I would say you, or some people say you all, or in the South, they say y'all and roll it all together. In Spanish, I could say vosotros, vosotras, or ustedes, depending on the situation. So let's look at these boxes here. Vosotros and vosotras are used in Spain. So it means you plural, and it's just the way people in Spain say that. Now, we won't get caught up in this, but some people in Spain use vosotros and vosotras in a more informal way and use ustedes in more formal situations, such as when they're talking to older people or at work with superiors. But again, we won't get caught up in all of that. Generally speaking, in Spain, people use vosotros and vosotras. Now, what about ustedes? Well, ustedes is used everywhere else. In most Spanish-speaking countries, people use ustedes to mean you, plural. Here's a little note about vosotros and vosotras. We already know vosotros means you, plural, in Spain, but it's important to note that OS ending tells us that that group of people I'm talking to has at least one male person. Okay? So there could be a group of 5 people and all 5 are males. It could be a group of 5 people and 2 of them are male and 3 of them are female. It could be a group of 100 people and 1 of them is male and 99 are female, and we would still use vosotros when talking to those groups in Spain. Vosotras, which is also you, plural, in Spain, is used for any group that is all female. So again, if I'm talking to my group of 5 people, I would say you by saying vosotras if all 5 of them are female. Or if I'm talking to that group of 100 people and all of them are female, I would use vosotras. By the way, ustedes, remember you plural everywhere else except Spain? Ustedes can refer to a group of all males, all females, or a mixed group. You think you got it? All right, let's look at some practice. Which word for you would you use to talk to the following people? Now, if you need to press pause on this video to look at these and take your time answering them, you can press pause and then just press play again when you're ready to continue, and we'll review the answers together. So first we have your classmate, Anna. Number 2, a doctor. Number 3, a group of teachers, male and female, if you are in Spain. Number 4, your cousins, who are all girls, if you are in Spain. And number 5, a group of police officers, if you are in Mexico. Now remember, you can still pause this video if you need more time. But here we are going to go to the answers. So, your classmate Ana, you would address as tú, because the easy way to think of it is you're using her first name, but she's your classmate, so it is more familiar. And she is one person. Number 2, a doctor. Again, is only one person, but this time it's more formal. A doctor has a title, so we would use usted. Number 3, a group of teachers, male and female if you are in Spain. So we know it's not tú or usted because it's more than one person. And it says that you're in Spain, so it will definitely be vosotros or vosotras. So let's look at that group. It's a group of males and females. Remember, if there's even one male person in the group, that takes over and means that it would be vosotros. Number 4, your cousins who are all girls if you are in Spain. So again, we are in Spain, it is plural, but in this case, the group is made up of all females. So the answer would be vosotras. And finally, a group of police officers if you are in Mexico. So remember, in Spain, we use vosotros and vosotras to mean you plural. In Mexico, or in the other Spanish-speaking countries in the world, we use ustedes. And it doesn't matter if the group is all male, all female, or a mixed group. The answer would be ustedes. You think you got it? I hope you did. See you next time.